Krampus sighting, an apology, and listener feedback. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do.
What's up, sugar tits? You ready to go?
Sure, let's go. No, sure, come on. Amy, I owe you an apology.
Okay, you're forgiven. Next. What happened? Was I aware of the offense?
You were in intense denial, but I'm going to apologize. You were right.
Huh?
23% of Gen Zers going on interviewers are not bringing their parents. It's 26% of Gen
Girl,
Zers
once
who
you start
bring
fucking
a
up the percentages,
parent.
we can't trust you for any of our data.
You were not trusting me for data in the first
a
place.
critical flim-flam.
Can you believe 1 in 4, actually slightly more than that, but what are you fucking talking about are bringing mommy or daddy to a job interview?
They're not getting that job, number one.
They are not going to get that job.
Nope.
You are absolutely right. You are in the world. In the world? Yes, you are in the world, and you are a working adult.
I'll tell you one better. My son works for a friend so close, we frequently refer to each other as my brother and my sister. We are quite close, okay? It wouldn't be this way with just any friend, right? He regularly wants to call me and tell me things that are going on. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no special treatment. And I sort of see the look on his face like, this kid's got nothing but special treatment. But I'm like, no special treatment. And
what are you talking about, Mother?
Special treat him, it's because you're special treating him, not because I'm special treating him. Keep me out of it. Because he'll talk to me about how to collaborate, how to get something to happen, and I'm like, no.
I don't want behind the scenes.
No.
If I was meant to know that, I would know that already.
And my favorite part is now that he's the employer, he'll tell me stuff. He'll like, you don't want to hear this, but this is what you need to do in the raising of your son. And his wife is going, shut up. You need to shut up. And the whole time I'm like, I will take your feedback. Give me your feedback. And it's so charming because the shit that he tells me to do, we tried that shit in 4th grade, fucker. Welcome to the party. I'm the expert, but I'm like, you're so cute. Thank you. I'll try that 10 years ago. It's very cute.
Also, yes, and don't you feel like you could give your children advice and they'd be like, yo, fuck you. You don't know shit. But when we got smart, like you had him in the 4th grade, you had somebody else share that wisdom, and that wisdom coming from literally anywhere else had grains of truth and things they could hold on to and possibly a solution to a problem.
He's got this child is an anomaly, and I should be so grateful. And so we're going to lean on that. I'm very, very grateful for the makeup of him because he has a terrifying combination of extreme luck, genuine optimism, and abject laziness, right? He fails up all the time.
Cocktail.
He is brilliant, right? He is very, very bright. So he shows up and quarter asses it. He doesn't even put in the effort to half-ass it. Okay?
Not even a
he
full half.
He quarter asses it and still gets like an A- or B+ if it's a hard grade. Okay? This is it. So showing up has now become the new battle, right? Because when he shows up, he's like, A, and also doesn't do it, and meanwhile has legions of people ready to follow him. Let's invade France because he said, whatever, right? And meanwhile, is he doing the work? No. I was just talking to his brother. We were talking to the brother's girlfriend about him, right? Which I normally don't like to talk to others about the one. You know, I don't like it. I like people to all be in the same room when we're talking about him. In any event, we were saying he is such an extraordinary talent that when he picked up the cello, he played it so well that we all thought, including his instructors, all thought, if you want this to be your career, here we are. It's up to you. He plays with such finesse that if he would only learn the fucking notes, he plays so much better than the kids who are in there literally sweating it, and it's their only line on the resume. That's the only thing that they're doing. When he plays the notes, they'll make you weep. They're so good. But then he's like, yeah, I didn't fucking go to practice. Nor did I practice. I'm like, you shit ball full of phlegm. Anyway, I love him.
How do you convince people who are wasting a natural talent? And I ask you this specifically,
don't
very
drag
much
me into this.
on purpose.
Don't
you
drag me
fucking
into this.
whore.
Don't drag me into this.
Because you have.
Don't apple treat me.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, Tree, that apple did not fall far, and your natural musical talent is going unused, unnurtured, and fuck you, because you do the same thing.
Look, God has smited me with this cough just for that very reason. He's like, if you're not going to use your voice, I won't even let you use it then. Fuck you. Here comes some phlegm.
Yeah, I am kind of mad at you. So in the opener, here's the apology. I am sorry. Gen Z, I was wrong. It was higher than we thought it would be for Gen Zers bringing their parents. But the other one was listener feedback. We got some listener feedback.
What?
I know. I'm pulling Julia's for today.
Oh, good old Julia.
We love Julia. So Julia is both said wonderful things about the podcast, for which I say, thank you, Lovey. I'm so glad you're still here and that you show up and show out for us, and we will continue to do the same for you. She would like you to know that the wreaths are the best Christmas cookie.
Uh-oh. I'm here to tell you, she's correct. Those
she
light
said
bulbs
she thought
taste like
everyone.
Shit. Yeah.
Oh, did they?
They taste like shit. They didn't move. They were a pain in the ass to make, and they sat there like fucking lumps on a platter. We're going back to the wreaths, or we're throwing them in the street. That's how it's going to be. All of Christmas cookies were a fail, but I agree with her. The wreaths are the best seller. Do you know why? Do you know why it is? Because they have the right ratios. You know what I mean? You bite into it, and you can get your mouth around it. You get just enough of that. Your teeth can go through it. Even a Rice Krispie treat is too thick, if we're being honest. If we're being honest, it's too thick and difficult to eat. The wreaths, on the other hand, are spec fucking tack because you pick it up, it's a little bit gooey, it starts to maybe drip, and you're thinking, okay, I got a good one. If this fucker can't even have the turkey pressure to hold up before I get it to my lips, let's go. You put it in, it immediately starts to soften, you bite it, and you're through the whole thing, and now your mouth is just filled with corn-flaked madness. It's delicious, and the only thing left for you to do is have another wreath. They're so good.
She even sent us her recipe for them.
Oh my God.
So I would like you to,
yes.
I will send that to you so you'll take a look at that. But I, as a Jew,
right,
I love this one tiny, tiny, tiny Italian bakery, deli, something at the shore that makes the best cookies.
I bet they do.
I like the trees, the green and pink trees.
Right.
That they have the
they
full ass.
Together.
The full ass is chocolate, and the top is either pink or green, and it is so delightful.
Oh, you
and
like singles? Yeah. A lot of times, sometimes they make them a sandwich cookie, which I find too thick.
They make the pretzel cookie like that, like a pretzel with chocolate in the middle, like that double cookie.
I find
too thick. Thin, the perfection of that fucking tree. And I feel like an idiot walking in there. And I said, I'd like a half pound, quarter pound, 4 pounds. I'd like a pound of.
I'd like a flatbed truck full.
That's what I want to say, but they don't have that many.
Why are you upset with yourself? Okay, is it because you're a Jew walking in to Christendom?
Well, no. Walking in, I love it. I'm afraid that when I say, no, I just want the pink and the green trees.
Correct.
They're going to say, you don't want an assortment of all of these cookies?
They're going to say,
and all?
They say, hey, Johnny, Sally's here. Get the beep, 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 beep.
Get the big box.
Back
it up.
That's it. That's it. They're happy. They make these cookies to sell them.
They're so good.
They want you to come in and buy. They want an empty bin. Christmas is a joy when you have an empty bin filled with 0 cookies because they cleaned you out. Truth.
Yeah. So you're saying the cookies were not as successful as you would have liked?
My cookies were a shit pile full of garbage, and it's the only good that came of it is that I am at a full cookie pivot. I am at ground zero cookie.
Whoa, cookie pivot. Let's hear.
Ground zero cookie. I am gone nuclear. It is a complete wipeout. I am literally throwing out my baking implements and starting 100% again. I'm not kidding. I've already purchased new. That's it. I'm out. It is a ground zero reset.
Then I have something to tell you.
It's time. It's time. If you're trying to send me something, I'll take a backup because it was so difficult. I had to. All the Camel spritzers are sold out everywhere.
No, they're not.
Oh my God.
I got one.
I couldn't. Well, you bought the last one. There's none on eBay. There's none. Do you know that eBay is cleaned out? There's none on eBay.
One. I got the press, the Miro. You spelled it for me last week. It's the Miro, and it comes with all the discs. And it's sitting in my kitchen. I just opened it to make sure it was what I thought it was. Because, seasonally, when a box comes, you're like, what's in this guy? And it was not from, I think I got it from Poshmark, where I've never shopped before in my life.
Oh, my God. That's
that was new for me. So it came last night as I was on my way to the hospital. It came last night. And
well, you, my friend, have earned yourself some delightful Camel cookies, presuming the disc is in there.
It is, right? But because I made sure before I bought it. But while doing that, I thought, how the fuck is this Camel disc a cookie?
So now you're in the presence of disc.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It's not the. You can compare it to all the other discs. You're like, yeah, I can see how we get there. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck
makes
is this?
No sense at
Correct.
all. They're sticks that are attached by a thicker stick. No, there's no sense.
It's like if you were to make the upside down letter U. Like start on one side, draw a really tall, skinny upside down U, right?
So
and then
skinny.
Put a head on it. That's
how do you even
camel.
move it? If you put a spatula under it to move it, you lost legs. You have a very sad camel.
No. You're done.
It's ridiculous. And then I thought maybe she should move on, but it was too late. I already bought it, and I'm shipping it out tomorrow to you.
You are the charm of my life.
But your aluminum pump and tube and the whole thing, it's all coming to you. You could just throw away what you want.
I was so mad, I threw it away. I just put it in the garbage. I was
like,
you've been nothing but pain, and you're going away. I'm going to restart. And here's the other thing. These gifts that you send me all the time, which are totally unnecessary, are so beloved by me. I have more pictures in my phone. I don't even think I send them to you. Every time I'm using one of your gifts, I think, ooh, and I take a picture of it. And then I think, I got to text it to her. But then I get involved in doing whatever stupid horse shit I'm doing at that moment. So I have more pictures of a stick blender. People think I'm psychotic, okay? I have gone through that stick blender twice now. I've ordered replacement parts for a stick blender. It has no name on it because I have worn the name off from holding it. I use it every single fucking day, sometimes 2 times a day.
Okay? That makes me so happy.
It's delightfully loved.
To be a part of your cookie tradition now will also make me so happy. So keep in mind, it's
That's
wildly selfish.
Because now these are covert cookies from the Jews. Eat it, Christian. I can't wait. Choke on it.
I really don't understand the camel disc, though. I really don't. Like I'm going to have to be in your kitchen to watch it happen. I don't get it.
It's true.
I don't get it all. Okay. Right. So it's not all cookie talk.
No, we're done with that. We're moving on. And here's the other thing. Are you already ready to move on? This is not on our board. It's just on my heart.
Go ahead.
This middle week of madness, I find it troublesome. I just want it to not exist. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help me to be in this purgatory.
I was going to say, like purgatory.
The best that I can hope for is anticipation, right? Is a kind of, I don't know what the word is, farrowing, where you're just sort of, I don't know. You're rebuilding yourself, and so you're
like in limbo. You're not there yet.
Kind of deepening or whatever. You're fueling all the. No. I'm ready. I'm like shot out of a cannon. I fucking had Christmas. Now give me New Year's. Now get the fuck out of the way. We're supposed to start again. Like what's this middle shit?
Well, everybody waits for Monday to start something, and the biggest restart, obviously, is January 1st.
Yeah.
If you're already sure about what's coming in the new year, I could see how this week, right? I could see how this week would be an annoyance, a postponement of that beginning, that joy. are you beginning something that you cannot wait to accomplish?
Yes, and I've already begun it. I've begun the beginning. For me, I really thrive on the calendar overlay as a motivator, as a line of demarcation, literally as a starting line, right? I really thrive on the power of a Monday, the power of a morning, the power of first day of the month, the power
weight loss
of
communities
New
are built
Year.
on it.
I even go for new quarter, new season, solstice. Like I'll pick anything I can to make it. It's interestingly enough, I don't appreciate the power that I possess to declare any moment of a new beginning moment. I don't appreciate that power. I don't accept that power in myself that I know that I have, because I could declare from this moment forth, hence all could all happen, right? Speaking in tongues, as I often do.
But
instead, I look and I see this arbitrary man-made, imbecilic man-made calendar is going to be the thing that saves me or not. And I also, on some cellular level, I have fell victim to the January 17th. Because by the third week in January, something like 92% of all resolutions and new habits have fallen away. It's a 3-week documented, clinically studied pivot. You get to the third week and you're out.
Challenge
I've done
accepted.
it for the past 2 years. I've done it for the past 2 years. Because sometimes my goals are so big, but last year was 10,000 steps a day no matter what happens. Nothing else can change. Nothing else can change. And literally on day 17, I got 9,000 steps and I declared everything a waste, and then I magically didn't go back to it. For the year, didn't go back to it. That's dumb.
365, 17. All right. Okay.
Brain cells dumb.
I wish out of 365 Gen Zers going to job interviews, only 17 of them brought their parents. But that's not the case. Sell crazy somewhere else. We're all full up here.
Speaking of things I don't buy you, I keep getting all of these wonderful, really to my standard, poop potty art.
Ooh.
Okay. And I see them and I think maybe I could just take a screen capture and send her that. And then the idea is that I'm like,
that's
no,
lovely.
No.
That's then it would sit in the bank that you have on your phone that says here are my stick blender pictures too, all for Melissa. A folder for me.
They're so good. All the potty art that I get is so good. And I hate that shit.
I love it. I like that you called it shit too. I love it. Calendar, colander, candies, candles. What did
Oh my God, you guys.
Is this just your diarrhea of the mouth once again, not being able to find a word or any word?
So I told you last time, and I know that you like it from last time when I tell you things because you didn't listen last time, so I'll catch you up. We do a Secret Santa, which means at Thanksgiving, everybody writes their name. My niece puts together these super cute cards with like lines to fill in and shit for your name and your ideas of what you'd like and all this kind of shit. Okay. Everybody draws a name. You go. Come back at Christmas. You've given to your Secret Santa. Ha ha. So because it's all over, we now know. My father, he's Papa, my dad, drew one of my nieces. Okay? Maria. She's little tiny like a mouse. She's the tiniest of us all. She is the kind of person who you would trust her with the nuclear codes of every country on the planet simultaneously, right? And at the same time, you would also think to yourself, shit. Like she's very, 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 very bright, but you never know what's going on in her brain because she's super timid, right? And quiet. And I am arguably the quiet one in my family. So if that doesn't terrify you.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, frequently I don't get a word in. I just sit in silence. So it's very noisy. So, and that's great. Okay. I love it. Maria, you wouldn't even know she was there because she doesn't say a word. She sits super quiet and she's diminutive. She's short in stature, tiny. I'm making a point that she's small. So even the thing that she write on her card, her handwriting is tiny. Really little tiny. So my dad is telling us this story, right?
Oh, no.
At home before he gave the gift because he's like, I almost got in such trouble, you guys. So he take out the card, and he's like, look at even the writing look like her. And she wrote her name, Maria. Real small, right? What gifts would you like? Cat toys. Like real small, wrote cat toys, right? We're like, okay. He's like, what the fuck? My dad doesn't cuss, but he's like, how am I going to get cat toys? What's that even mean? I'm like, it's a toy for a cat. But anyway,
but
meanwhile.
That's not a gift for her. That's a gift for her cat.
Right. So we keep stepping through.
We need to talk to Maria,
then
by the way.
He says, so then she writes on there she wants a colander. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess she got an apartment now. She's, moving up. I guess she wants something for the kitchen. Fine. She wants a colander, right? She wants a colander.
No.
And then she wants some candy. Candy? She wants candies. And he's thinking, are those shoes? And he's like, no, she probably wants. So then he goes out to buy this stuff. Fortunately for him,
he brought the list.
Oh,
thank God.
He referenced the list again. She had not written colander. She had written calendar.
Oh, Jesus.
Because her O's and her A's are so tiny. They look the same. She had not written candies. She had written candles.
Thank
so
God.
He actually did buy her the candies, and he's like, too bad. That's what she's getting. I already bought it. So he gave her a cat calendar instead of a colander. But at the same time, I feel like I laughed my head off so hard. Because could you imagine if she opened up Christmas, thank you for the colander? Like, why did you think that I wanted this?
Did he tell that story during the exchange?
Oh, yeah.
To make the smallest member of your family feel, smaller?
No, are you kidding? She'd probably clip you and drink your blood. The girl's tough as shit. But at the same time, she was like, oh, that's very funny. I know. That's super cute. She's super awesome. And what I love about her is her last name is a kind of familiar name. So on TikTok, there is some spiritual guru person with her first and last name who's constantly posted stuff. And we all got a little wigged out in the beginning because it would get served to us, right? Thinking like, is this the person you know? And
Maria Deepak Arliss?
And the things are always like, if you're feeling strange today, pack a bag and leave your family. Kill your spouse and your pet. Like, it's definitely,
You're all
it's that kind of, burn the fields kind of spiritual guidance. And so when I saw her Thanksgiving, I told her this, and I'm like, gosh, do you see this thing on the Thanksgiving on the TikTok? She said, I know what it's not making. It's hilarious. So we all did that.
Oh my God. That is upsetting when your name is out there doing
I have
things.
it too sometime. I have it too. So you have it too. You know how many people there are with your name on? 60 million.
I looked to get a new account somewhere, and they're like, somebody already has that. How is that my last name is ridiculous. I don't know how somebody else has that. That's fine. That's
the only last name that would be better than your last name is if your last name literally was ridiculous.
While you watched all of those people open gifts and in your world and in your rotation, have you seen anybody get those VR glasses?
No. But we got them last year. We got them 2 years ago, right? When I threw the controller at my kid's head. Isn't that the one?
Do they use them? Is this a bought it, spent too much, sits in a box? What happened?
No, they used it for like the one who received it used it like immediately because it was the hot gadget, gotta get it gift.
Sure.
And then somebody else found it and used it for a couple 6 months, and then like the battery died and was difficult to change. And then I don't know. I don't go in there. I have love for my children specifically because I do not go in the spaces they inhabit. I have no idea what the playroom looks like. I don't go in anyone's bedroom. I don't go in the laundry room. I refuse to go in these spaces. And that's why I love my children. And my husband can't look at them without complete death arrows of spite shooting from his eyeballs.
Because he walks upstairs?
He won't. Yes. And he's like, if you knew. And I'm like, that's why I don't know. I won't do it. Where's your dishes and plates? They're in my heart filled with love. Okay? I'm not going to look for them.
We have that debate here, too, with the kids' rooms. I don't really give a shit what their rooms look like most days. But when Friday comes around and I need somebody to put a vacuum through there and to change their sketch sheets.
You're so charming that you think a vacuum
Thursday
could find
night.
the floor in any of my house. Yeah.
Thursday night, straighten that shit up. But other than that, I don't really care what they look like. That's not my business.
I got the one who I am thrilled that he is living here while working a job. It's my favorite thing. And I want him to treat his room like an apartment. I want him to think of his room as his space and his apartment where he's going to be, and frequently does, entertaining his friends and guests and, having his private time and setting things up the way he wants. And think of your space as your space. And that's my way of saying, so have some fucking respect in class, you fucking idiot pig. But he won't do it. And instead, now it's really just about containing the chaos behind that door, so that when these other people come over, they look around and they're like, oh, wow, this is great. And then they look at him and they're like, what, how, what?
Yeah. Well, you had that with your oldest as well,
and
when everybody thought he was homeless.
The other way that he did it is he just left. I mean, I think that there's something about...
There's a lot in that.
There's something about this space. Because he keep his space elsewhere, keep it tidy. He keep it connected and tight. He's got a roommate. He's got a girlfriend who's looking at him. He keeps it together. But here... Even the one here, it's like mountains and mountains of garbage and crap and bullshit.
And again, I get that, but when it does start to creep out of that room, like we have this alcove next to my son's room that when we moved in, we built in like seating area, that's storage. It's where all the ski stuff is, but nobody's been skiing in years.
Right.
So I measured it. We had pillows made to go on that. It's lovely. Some of the pillows on top of the pillows are animal print, and I call it the jungle room.
I love it.
Right? So where is this? It's in the jungle room. Well, right next to my son's room is the jungle room, and when shit starts to literally crawl on its own, clothing that hasn't been washed, into the jungle room, I say, nay. That is when I put down my tiny little foot and I say, hey, all of you get back in this inside this door. There are signs sometimes that say, por favor, no limpiar aquí. Hoy.
I know what that means. It means I'm doing it because I don't understand it. Woo!
It says, please don't clean in here today because I can't get my shit together enough for the cleaning ladies to even come in here, which means your bathroom's not cleaned, which means here's the scrubby, soapy bubble something, and do it yourself is what it means. And nobody wants to do that.
Nope.
But that's a rule we have. If your room isn't clean enough to be cleaned, here, start cleaning yourself. That's it. Hey, did you say you had a Krampus sighting this week?
Oh, my God.
Isn't that the guy who ruins Christmas?
Oh, my God.
Humbuggy?
Oh, my God. Okay. So, for Christmas time, we stay in my parents' house. Okay? And that means that this year, my 16-year-old son, who is 6'2", 175 pounds, athlete, okay? He's bigger than this house. They live in a typical house in the Northeast, right, where it is of a type. It is small. It has everything you need in it, including all the people that you need. But there's not a lot of room to move around. So I'm in one room. He and his brother in another room right there. Bathroom right next to it. So you come out of the room, the hallway's tight. He fills up the whole hallway, right, when he's in it. So it was very early in the morning, and I'm getting ready to go down to the bathroom, which is the end of the hall, same hallway. I'm at the end of the hall. You can't get anywhere. You walk to the end of the hall, open the door, you're in a room. That's it, right? So I open this door real quiet. I think people are still sleeping, right? I open it onto the hallway, pitch dark. I see somebody in the bathroom because the light's on under the door. I'm thinking, okay, who could this be? Could be my dad. Could be my mom. I got to go slow here. So I was also carrying stuff to the bathroom, toiletry kit, this kind of thing. And it may go without saying, but I will say it for folks who are new. I had just awoken from a sleep. So I had all of my hair out kind of, Medusa style. It's just I don't do this to myself. It's just sleep does it to me. So it's like all this crazy hair around my head, like particularly crazy, okay? And I'm standing there, and I'm happy to be wearing all black just because I was wearing long black track pants, sweatpant kind, Adidas kind, and a black T-shirt. And that's what I threw on so I could go into the hallway because I don't like walking around not wearing anything. Okay, so anyway, all right. So open up the door. I'm just a little bit backlit, very, 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 very pale backlit behind me. Right?
You are Krampus.
Always black. Okay? And I'm holding shit like packages. Big, draping, black bag packages, right?
The presents you stole from under the tree.
And I heard somebody in the bathroom. So what's the first thing you do when you hear somebody? You go, ooh. So I stooped and kind of bent over a little bit, like, ooh, because I was turning to, like, stop in my tracks. So I'm in this weird position, holding this shit.
After having stolen all the presents from
looking
under
like
the tree.
a fucking gremlin at the end of the hallway, right? You know, and I'm not that tall. So I'm down, so I'm like half the height of the doorway, the whole thing, right? So, here come the bathroom, open up. It's my 16-year-old son. Poor kid's just wearing a pair of underpants. I've never seen this, first of all, because he didn't think anybody's going to be awake either. So he comes out into the hallway, looks at me, and he goes, ah! He's just scared so bad. Did the thing where he literally clutched his pearls, took his hand up to his throat, like, help me, Jesus, right? One hand went out on the wall trying to steady himself. And then I'm doing that laugh real loud like a demon because I still had the phlegm in me. And he's like, oh, my God. He's like, I thought you were a fucking witch. What is that? And I'm like, I'm the Christmas witch. I'm a Krampus. Oh, my God, I scared the shit out. It was totally unintentional. And now I got trouble. You are the Christmas I was trying to go to the bathroom. And what happens when we're laughing real hard, ladies, you're trying to go to the bathroom?
We pee immediately.
Unless you're talented. It was a difficult, really quick, squidgy walk out there. I made it through the rain. Indeed, I made it.
You made the rain. Do your parents have their own bathroom?
No, ma'am. We all share the bath. Woo! It's one and bathroom. A half. It's 1.5, Gloria. There's a half of one downstairs if you want to get fancy. But upstairs is the bath. That's the house I grew up in. Sure. It's got 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, right? We got 9,000 people come and stay.
So you shared a bedroom with your sister when you were younger?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand how 1, 2, you're 5.
Yeah.
Who are now down to 4 for the sake of this trip. But you're 5 typically.
Well, typically they put a bunk set in the in one.
I'm not talking about sleeping. I'm talking about shitting. I'm talking about shit, shower, and shave. That's what I was.
We all share the same shower, and you hurry up and you go, or you figure it out, or you stagger it. People have been doing this since the dawn of time. People have been doing this. People sometimes do this outside, Melissa. Not everybody have 6 bathrooms for 5 asses. You got to figure it out sometime. Yeah. How about that? I'm one of those people.
Spoiled.
I have 6 bathrooms for 5 asses, but at the same time, I didn't do that. But now I just got to clean them. You don't need that many, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so
don't start me on cleaning toilets. I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it. Don't ever do it. We are getting through the holidays, which is a tough thing to say. People look forward to them all year, and what we're doing is getting through them. So my husband gets called into work. There is a fire at one of the other hospitals.
Wow, that's excitingly bad.
And they thought we might need to send everybody
from
because
the
all the
American
department.
Oxygen is going to explode.
So you watch a lot of TV. So they put the fire out, but they don't have the ability. They restaff all the local hospitals. They add an extra doc to all the other local hospitals just in case you get all the other ambuli as they choose what other hospitals to favor. Great. So at midnight, 12:31, he gets the phone call. He goes in for 5-6 hours. I'm sleeping.
Sure.
I don't even know that. Well, I medicate to sleep, so I'm sleeping.
Hey-o.
And otherwise I'm the Krampus. So he comes home. He goes to work, gets the call, goes to work, comes home, feeds the dog, lets the dogs out, goes to the basement, crawls into a bed we have in the basement, and sleeps for another 4 or 5 hours. Great. You should. And I get a note when I come downstairs. I went into work last night. I came home from work this morning. I have fed the dogs. We've had a day while you medicated and schluffed your way through 6-7 hours of sleep. Fantastic. I go downstairs later as the cleaning ladies came to lock in downstairs and then run our errands and do whatever. And there's a horrific smell. There's a industrial, remember the vat that the Joker fell into to make him the Joker?
Oh my God.
It's duty, but it's duty toxic. If
toxic
they cleaned out
duty.
My autobiography.
By Wemo. Yeah.
If they clean out your septic system and there's a thing in the air
inside of your house,
awful.
Your kitchen. I'm picturing it in your kitchen.
No, it's in the basement in the room where my husband was sleeping.
And guess what else you've had down there? A whole couple of times you've had a water leak. You go down there for exercise sweats. Nothing good happens in that basement, I don't think.
I'm down there every day and I've never smelled that. So I go into that room to I changed the sheets a little. He just went down there and slept first. Sure. So I go in there and I said, holy fuck, what is that smell? And he said, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. My eyes are like running. They're tearing. Like I'm literally crying. And I said, how, excuse me. I had to leave the basement to finish the conversation. He said, you got a like plug-in that I could put down here? I said, honey.
Wrong answer, clown.
This is
and
a
if you're
symptom.
diagnosing my illnesses, let's not start with how do we mask the symptom? Idiot.
Right?
I think you're great,
right?
but that's wrong.
P.S. Last week he said, you said Stuart was right. Can you
Where?
get that
Pull that
drop?
out. That can't, that's
Can you,
not.
right. It was from last week's show.
Or you should embroider that shit onto a plaque. Yeah.
Stuart was right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, Stuart, you are trying to put a Band-Aid or a cork in a damn flood. Like this is a symptom. There's a fucking problem. Like you need to fix the problem, not patch up the So he calls. I said, we need to call the guy, the septic guy. We need to, let's get in touch. He said, oh, we do? I'm like, all right, fucker, call them. Like, do it. He does. And the guy says to him at the septic place, do you use the bathroom down there a lot? Because the alarm for the septic system, not really. Like, it's the basement. We don't really go down there so much. You need to run the water and move the system and keep things moving.
In my house.
Seriously?
Yeah, but tell me what his answer was. I'm very curious now. I mean, I was clicked in this whole time, but I want to hear more. Now I want to hear more because I have personal relevance.
We need to turn on the shower down there. We
Yep.
need to turn on the sink and flush the toilet and keep things moving or it builds up. And the room right next to that bathroom is the room where he slept. The bathroom didn't even smell, but the system is in there. And that's where all those noxious fumes were gathering. And I was hit in the face with a shovel of smell that I'm still like trying to get the hair back from my face. I'm drawing an eyebrow.
I have that because I have people who have moved out of the house who have a bathroom in the room they're not in.
Do you have an on-site septic system?
No. But here's what happens. It
Go ahead.
doesn't necessarily make a smell, which is what I'm glad you said you have an on-site septic. We're not that at all. We're city, so
Okay.
we're tapped into the city. Okay, so it's regular flowing, straight from the bowels of the horrible earth.
Stop saying bowels, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what happens in mine? Mold. Inside the bathroom toilet, it's called a toilet. Inside the toilet bowl will literally mold. The water that sits in there, it makes a ring of mold in the toilet. It's red. And you're like, what's this red shit?
Pumice
red
stone.
is mold.
You need a pumice stone for that. There's a
So
special stone.
I guess we've caught it in such a way where you just use a regular thing of bleach, it comes right out. But still.
Oh, okay.
No, but it's like it'll make a little ring. And I'm like, how is this even dirty? So you have to clean a clean fucking toilet because nobody's using it because people don't live there. And
so your water obviously has something in it. Like
well, it's just stagnation. If it's I close the lids on the toilet because I'm not a crazy psychotic.
Okay.
So I have them all closed, right? And if you don't run or do anything, the water that sits in there, I guess it gets hot enough because we live on the sun. I don't know what the answer is, but it definitely more than one of the toilets upstairs when not in use. And I'm talking like 2 months. So I don't think about cleaning a toilet that's not been used in 2 months. Maybe that's a failing of my own. Okay, add it to the list, Michael. I'm just trying to say, right?
Why is Michael keeping a list of your
There's so many
failures?
lists on me. There's so many lists on me.
A, who's Michael? B, why is he keeping a list of your failures?
I'm just trying to say. I find it
Amy,
rude.
if you had 27 minutes to spend $8,000 in one store, where would you do it?
I have so many questions. Do you want me to just go instead?
Yeah.
27 minutes, $8,000. 27 minutes to spend $8,000. I would spend the first 26 minutes singing a song about spending my $8,000.
Then I drop my card on my son's vacation.
Here's how my brain processes. So I've got a handful, and I want to just spit them out so you get an answer really quick, but they're all the wrong answer. The first answer is Apple Store. I don't want anything they have in there, but that would be my first answer. And that's not right. It would be good, and then I think cookie store, but they're also overpriced. So I don't feel like I would get what I really want there. So I'm trying to think of some place that has all the good shit that I want that $8,000 could buy. So then I'm thinking of some place. Oh, I hadn't thought about food.
Costco has everything.
I hadn't thought about food. I was thinking about objects. I don't feel like food is in there because then you say, I'm going to go to the gas station. I'm going to buy one the gas. Like,
you have 27 minutes. You can't get $8,000 of gas in 27 minutes. And if you can,
I could buy a tanker. I could buy a tanker. I could buy a tanker.
That's your $8,000
how about
right
the
there.
shoe store? Well, my first thought also was like TikTok Shop or Temu, but I get so stressed out. I can't buy from any of those places. Think of how far that money would go. You would be a billionaire.
You could not spend $8,000 in
All
27
right, I'm gonna come back.
minutes.
Oh my God, I figured it out. I'm sorry. See, I knew I needed a minute. I would go to either Utrecht or Jerry's Artorama, whichever you have in yours. I would go to an art supply store. I would go to an art
You feel good
supply
now?
store.
Okay.
I will go there today.
What would you get there?
Every fucking thing. I would probably go and buy all of the paint. I don't think I would buy anything else. I would get all of the paint because that's the kind of thing where it'll keep. I mean, honestly, all I want is the canvases, but they're so expensive anyway, and I never fucking stretch them. I don't know. I'd buy it all. I had $8,000. I would spend it real quick.
You get them stretched at that point.
Yeah, but you don't need to waste money on labor. I only have $8,000. I got to stretch it. Literally, I got to stretch that money, not the canvas.
You only have 27 minutes. I went Costco. They have everything.
What are you going to?
Everything I need.
What? You don't need. First of all, okay, hang on. I'm an adult. Slow down. Did you see that thing on TikTok?
I'm an adult.
Did you see that thing on TikTok? Did you see it?
No.
Okay.
No, which one?
So I feel personally very seen. I was cooking cookies this weekend with my son and my son's girlfriend. Okay. Regularly, I would start yelling. Something that was in my head would come out in very high volume and at a pitch. So I would find myself screaming out something that should be said like this. Hey, just a minute. Right? So I would normally
freak out.
So on TikTok, there's a sound going around now of this woman who starts screaming, "That's not fair. Are you crazy? Wait a minute. I'm going to calm down. I'm an adult. Everything's okay."
Oh, I love that.
She's literally on a game show, and she starts yelling and pointing at the other contestants about how some shit's not fair. And then she says, "I need to calm down. Everything's okay. I'm an adult." It's the funniest shit you've ever seen. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm on a game show.
I love that. I feel like that's every professional football and basketball player. You freak out. It's not my fault. Who me? What's going on? And then at some point, somebody gets a hold of them. And they're like, oh my God, I'm an adult. It was one play.
Everybody,
we are okay.
My favorite part of the whole thing is I'm going to calm down. You're not going to calm me down.
Self-soothing.
I caught it. I'm going to calm down. I recognize that my behavior is erratic and troublesome, and I'm going to stop it in its tracks. Cut to, you were asking a question, darling. And was it in Costco? Were you buying food in Costco, which I still don't believe you could do?
I would do everything for my $8,000. I would do everything in Costco.
You could not spend $8,000. You would come out of there with fucking socks and sadness. You would be crying.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. What would you buy?
I already saw a couch that pulls out to be like fills the whole room and becomes 5 beds.
Okay, that's one of your 8. That's $1,000. That's it. Now you got $7,000 you got to spend on ice and strawberries.
Have you ever been to Costco and spent under $400?
Yes. No. But I mean, I'm
like, no, you haven't.
No, I haven't. But I'm trying to say,
I would get 3 of those pallets, those big, massive things, and I would just start pushing it around. I would have that shipped immediately directly to my home. I don't know how I get it home, but that's not the question. The question is spending it, not transporting it.
That's right. Can I go to the bank store and buy gold bars?
Another KitchenAid mixer to have one here and one at the other. I could spend.
Good. That's good. You could get a Dyson. My Dysons are shit.
I could get a new Dyson. I could get a new. They have the hairdryer Dyson. They have the vacuum Dyson.
I broke all my Dysons.
They have jewelry there.
I broke my KitchenAid.
It's not. You broke everything?
Not broke. I used it to the point where it wore the fuck out. I had to.
So like the motor went.
I had to take my KitchenAid to a KitchenAid repairman, and he repairmanned my KitchenAid, and I kept it going. I make shit work. I'm big on replacements. You were telling me something after the 8,000. We got off on some. You were. It was exciting. Everything you say is so good. I want to hear it.
I'm very exciting. I was curious when you were talking about having your middle child home because he works from there and his home is his space. Does that change your sex life at all? Because the whole empty nest thing was real good. Real good. It was real good for us. It was real good.
It's the proximity. So our home, what do you call it? Our bedroom is on the first floor, and it's like a suite off to the side. Then on the complete opposite side and floor of the house, like literally if you were to draw a diagonal line to as fur opposite as you could get.
Like fur?
As fur opposite, like 2 staircases away. It's very far away. That's where he is. And his room, God help us, is soundproofed. Only his room, which has become the bane of our existence because it is directly, it shares a common wall with the double height music room, which is sort of in front of and below him. So we knew in making that music room, we wanted that to, we didn't know whose room was going to be right next to it. So we soundproofed all the walls around it, right? So now when you yell up the stairs, like, what the fuck are you doing? I am so mad at you. He's just like, I cannot hear a thing.
And you're getting angrier and angrier.
Enclave. My phone is not plugged in, so you can't call me, and I will not pick up. And now I am late for work. Yeah, that's every fucking day.
I saw a TikTok hack for that. They had, now I'm not kidding. They have a doorbell. They have a doorbell that you put inside his room and you press it from like the kitchen counter.
Is that like the press for champagne button, except it's press for wake the fuck up?
Yes, exactly. And it says ding dong, which means if I don't hear your voice within 30 seconds after hearing that, you lose the door on your room, or you lose
I won't follow through with that.
You have to answer me when I do that, because of course you could ding dong him all the time. If he doesn't answer, it's fucking useless. But you have to have a what, Mom? That's what they all did.
I will
3
say
kids.
This about him. Okay, yesterday the biggest challenge is when his phone, air quotes, dies, otherwise known as I didn't plug in my phone. Right. Okay.
You notice how I didn't ask you if it ruined his sex life? I asked you if it ruined yours.
Yeah, his is unabated. So, well, the answer is we're getting back to the sex life. That's a more important thing than the phones. Yeah, it's not a problem because you can't hear. And we have had a long-standing situation where if the door is locked, there's no reason for you to knock on my door because I only lock it when I don't want you in here. So even to the point now where when the door is, I've never said this to anyone, right? When the door is even closed, I can hear people hovering outside the door, and they stand there like, what am I supposed to do? And then they'll do this.
At the door.
And I'm like, it's okay. You can come in. I don't know. I had it closed when I was taking a shower, and I'm out of the shower now, so it just happens to still be closed. It's very funny. Yeah. No, doesn't affect
privacy with other adults in the house. I mean, little kids are easier to distract, but I think it takes a toll on one's relationship.
I don't
having
like it.
Adult
I don't like
children.
It because I like to have everything wide open. I like to be out in the middle of the street, like all that kind of stuff. And when people are home, you got to make sure the door is closed. You got to lock the door. Like I don't love that part, but I'm just not going to let that get in the way of a good time. That's what I'm trying to say. So.
They say that this time of year, penile fractures have increased tremendously.
I believe it because I would grab that thing and fucking bend it. I'm so mad. You deserve it, fucker.
Penile fractures.
I'll snap that shit. Fuck you.
I shared that with my husband, and he said, I've been practicing medicine for 20 whatever years. I've seen one. Like, I've not seen that. I said, that's
They're
funny.
Not coming to you, Stuart.
Every medical show I've seen has had at least 2. And he said, because that's real. Yeah, that's a tough one with us. Female refs and drivers.
I want to get back to the penile fracture, number 1.
Oh, okay.
And
go
we
ahead.
could have a best of show of you saying, let's get back to the penile fracture. Or let's get back to the whatever the thing is that we're saying. Let's get back to, the pedophilia. Like all the fucking things that we've said. Here's what I'm getting ready to tell you about penile fracture. I've already forgotten it. And it was really good, too, until you started riffing about this other stuff. What the fuck was I going to say to you? What was I going to say to you?
I have a drop of you saying, let's get back to hating the Jews. And I just can't find a place to use it. I have it. It sits there in my best of clips, and I have nowhere to use it.
Oh, you even have a thing. Oh, see, I even thought to myself, I had a really long drive with my son. And surprisingly, it was just the 2 of us. It was not ever intended to be just the 2 of us. It ended up being just the 2 of us. And I thought, what are we going to do on this big, long drive? I know we're going to talk yabba, 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 yabba. But then I also thought, sometime he'd like to listen to the podcast because I talk about him a lot. And his girlfriend. It's that son, right?
Okay, I know which son it was. He's the only one who listens. Yeah.
I thought, you know how he could really help me? We could listen to some back issues and then, or he could tell me his favorites and we can go back and pull out things so that we can finally have that best of we keep talking about. Because dear listener, guess how lazy we are. We're not doing that.
No, we work hard to come every week. Is
that you really crying or did you have a burp in there?
I had a hiccup.
I love it. It sounded really dramatic. It's like she's getting all choked up at the clip.
We work hard.
We work so hard for you. We do actually work hard for you. This is a lot of fucking hard work. And it's physical, actual resource money. Take money to make this shit happen. So you're welcome, bitches. But also than that, I'm not doing a whole bunch of extra stuff for you. I'm at the limit. No, I feel like the thing that we need to be doing is get back to the videos because your videos are so good. So we need to just do them. We got to get back to the penis fracture. I feel like I keep pulling us off penises, and I don't want to do that.
You've always been pulling at the penises, Amy. It's kind of your thing. It's kind of your thing.
Oh, God bless America.
There she is.
Oh, my God. So back to my mom's house. We came home after my sister's delightful hosting us for Christmas. And my mom was on a tear for some reason. She just had gotten real loose, and there was no reason for it, right? And she was cracking us up. So the kid I scared, acting like I was Krampus by accident, he's the only one that's down there. He's talking to her, my dad in the corner laughing, my mom in the other corner laughing, my son and me. So that's the scene that we're getting ready to paint. Before this, it's just my son downstairs with my two parents, right? My mom was looking for me. I was already up. We came home, drove home in different cars, all this. So nobody knew where anybody was, right? So he's sitting there on the couch talking with his grandparents, and he tells me that she's like, where's Amy? I want to talk to Amy. Where's Amy? And I was upstairs. I was changing into my night duds because I was getting ready to, get into the next phase of cookie eating, liquor drinking, stay up too late, all the things, right? So I'm upstairs hacking and coughing and all the thing, right? Trying to go through my routine. And she's saying to my son, where is Amy? Just where is she? Where is she? And from up in the bathroom, I let out a Barney burp, the likes of which would rattle the timbers of the house, right? So I didn't know anybody was trying to look for me. I didn't know people were listening to me. I'd had a full meal. I had had a full meal from my sisters. I even drank the Italian Pepto. I had a lot in me. And it was
I want that.
It was
That's
big,
the pistachio
chunky,
liqueur.
particulate matter flying through the lips, rambling, sort of a loud sound, right?
There she is.
And my mom, to my son, says, there she is. And she didn't mean it any kind of way. She really meant, I've been looking for her. Oh, good,
lovingly.
She's here. She said it with
lovingly.
Love. He laughed so hard, he had a hard time walking. He was laughing his head off.
Who drove you home from dinner?
Exactly.
To your mother's house.
Well, here's what we don't understand. Okay,
it's the boy, right? The boy
no,
drove you guys?
I was designated driver for everybody. I drove my car full of my people, and my father drove my mom. So, and we left easily 20 minutes later than they did and got home before them. I'm like, did you stop for gas? You meet a hooker? What'd you do? Why'd you take this long? What you doing?
You stopped for hot dogs on the way home?
Well, the whole thing, it's like, which route did you take? Like, I don't even understand how you could make this fucking happen. But it did. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. And I get
crazy.
such grief and guff from people that I drive too slow. And now I'm told I have a left foot. So I'm like, I can't have two. I can't have both. I can only be one of the hated things.
You understand you can't win that, right? You understand. What you can't do is win. All I do is win, no matter what.
That's me no matter what.
All
Money
right.
all the time.
As we're coming to a close here, I discovered a new word, which is kind of my favorite thing to do. I'm going through something right now. Like I'm going through something with.
I'm sorry. I want to be serious because you are going through something and it's not funny. So no, I'm not going to be laughing. I'm not laughing at it. So
it's not.
Stop.
But I find humor in everything. So
not this.
Honestly, when I did turn to my friend last night and tell her to head towards the light, it
Jesus.
was a moment in my life where I thought, you're so going to hell, number one. And number two, a little Carol Ann moment, I had a poltergeist moment last night. But I will tell you this. I have been bothered in the past year of from diagnosis to right now, my girlfriend's in hospice as of last night.
Oh, wait a minute. Just
deeply
Nope.
steeped.
No. You're going to stop for a second. because we don't know this. All right? So
but it's a comedy podcast, so I'm just going to graze the top.
It's a comedy podcast that's rooted in reality from people that love you and love everything about you. And everybody knows that this shit is not funny. So we're going to take a moment. We're going to take a breath.
But I don't want to do that.
No, I'm just going to acknowledge I'm learning it too. So can I just acknowledge that's some heavy shit. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
That's all. Okay,
thanks.
Continuing on.
And I know everybody has had this feeling of the weight of the world is on your chest. You have profound sadness and borderline depression and horrible weights on you, life, family, friends, whatever it is. And then you realize there's no milk in my house for the healthy ones, the other kids, those I have to run into the supermarket. Okay.
Right.
You run in and you look around you. We've discussed before, like, you'll be replaced in seconds at your job. Nobody is irreplaceable.
They're going to step over your body in front of the Hilton, and that meeting's going to start on time.
Exactly my point, right? So, but when you walk into the supermarket to get the milk for the corn pops that are snarling in a bowl with a kid, like, what the fuck? You look around and you see all of these people and you think you don't know what's going on, or you wouldn't be going about your day like this, or how fragile everything is, or how I'm losing one of my closest friends, like the whole nine. Then I learned a word this week through a friend's daughter who listens to weird band things, and the word is sonder.
Oh.
Do you know sonder?
It's
new to me. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a word, but I mean,
it's also the knowledge or realization that every passerby has an existence as complicated, as heavy, as beautiful, as everything as yours.
Yep.
And they too have that. So the last year where I've been dealing with this friend's cancer diagnosis and her ultimate demise, I have felt this and thought, you people out in the world, when really that's me being so blah, 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 blah. Everybody is going through that. You know, everybody has their weight on them. And I guess what I'm saying for the first of the year, hopefully by the 17th, I won't drop it. I am going to try to remember, sonder, this realization that, yeah, I am eating a fecal sandwich right now.
Right.
But I am not the only one. Everybody has that Ziploc bag of potato rolling duty in their purse, their pocket, their whatever that they too are carrying around. And that's just that was a realization for me. And I used to think, oh, I wish I was you because you don't know from this kind of trauma. Yes, they fucking do. Everybody has it. And I sat with that for a while, and it did not help.
I was going to say,
did not help lift me.
Did it give you perspective?
No. Did it
give
perspective.
You peace? Did it give you none of those? Did it give you another thing? What was the
perspective?
Yeah?
For me, it was a better perspective that there's no need to be jealous of someone else's ignorance of whatever, because I'm pretty ignorant to what they're going through. So, and I think it might help me to everyone else other than the woman in front of me who has to write a check. It might help me be more understanding, and it might help me be more compassionate. And as my friend Tom tells me, I'm going to try to lead more with compassion. He always does it for people who don't deserve it, but that is not the point. That's old me rearing her sketch head. I'm going to try.
I don't think you need to do anything different. I don't feel like there's any pivot coming your way. If you feel like some very modest changes in attitude or behavior are going to benefit you, I totally support it, but you're not doing a fucking thing wrong. You don't need to do anything different than what you're doing unless it's going to bring you peace.
In general or with this situation?
Yeah.
Both. Okay. It's
a moment of massive, massive introspection that you're going through and that you've been going through. And I love that you are using it as an opportunity to have insights that serve you and that serve the people that you love and are going to get to keep loving in this form and format for a long time, and the people that you love who you're going to be loving in a new way, right? in a new level of connection with them, whatever that may take. Because I'm here to tell you that it was around this time, within weeks or days, that the awareness of this condition was made known to you last year. Okay?
It's exactly a year. Yeah.
And it was
Start
around
to
this
finish.
time. It was around this time that all were convinced that the worst would occur within literally a month, if not days or even hours. And here we are a year later, having conversations and going to school events and making plans and creating a sustainable future for those that need, and having the runway of time that was so unbelievably unknowable then. You've been given such a gift, this long goodbye that felt like even that was going to be robbed from you. If it has to be a goodbye, let's at least do it in a way that is the best possible outcome for all concerned. She has been more loved in the past year than she's probably been in the past 30 years. Think of that gift that you've given your friend. Think of that model that you've given her daughter. Think of the setup that her daughter now has, that if this cancer had not arrived, she would frankly be worse off.
She might,
than the
situation
financially than the situation that she's in right now. Nobody wants this. Nobody picked this outcome. But when outcome thrust upon you, you yourself became captain of best outcome, right? And you're still major general of best admiral, best outcome, right?
Admiral outcomes.
You
Yay!
are admiral outcome. 5 stars. Brigadier general outcome.
I love the title. I love, potentially it comes with hardware. I love that too. But I just want, as we all enter this new year, please, everybody, lead with compassion and realize everybody is struggling. And even if they look really put together, just think of the parts you don't see and know that it ain't what it looks like. It's not covetable the way you think at first glance. Your life, what you have, is worthy, is valuable, and is specifically yours. And I'm here for it. And Amy's here for it. And we're here for you.
And I know you're closing up. I know you're closing up. I just want to do something that's not on the board and something real quick in it. It's a visualization that I found profound insight in. I wonder what you'll take out of it. Okay. So Martha Beck is a coach to the stars, a guru. She's had a crazy life. She was Oprah's darling for a while. It doesn't matter. If you know the name Martha Beck, it's that Martha Beck. So anyway, she's there. She's got 3 degrees from Harvard. She's put some thought into doing this.
They just give it away at Harvard.
She didn't just roll out of bed and say, I know this stuff. So she's been looking and learning for a bit and living life, and had horrible traumatic life that she's overcome. All the fucking things. Who cares if she's credible or not?
Sonder.
She takes a bowl. She takes a very, like a Pyrex pie dish, those flat ones.
Yep.
Size of a pie. Now imagine that the base of that Pyrex is filled with sugar cubes as the base of a pyramid. Now keep putting sugar cubes on top until you reach the top of a pyramid, the width and shape of the base of a Pyrex, right? And she says, this is society. And I believe for a long time that in my lifetime there would be a great reckoning. There would be a great reset. Just like other philosophers and other people in the world have come, lived through it at different times, whatever. She does this it's a very long TikTok, something like 31 minutes long. Like, it's ridiculous. I watched the whole thing. But the gist of it is this. She said, okay, everyone in this sugar cube represents our society. There are people at the bottom holding up the pyramid. There's one, person at the top of the pyramid. She goes, and everybody talks about how do we reset this? And there's lots of ways to reset it. Well, what if, just imagine, here's what I think the world is. Imagine that this entire pyramid is literally surrounded by a pool. So instead of how do we reset the pyramid, I'll tell you how we reset it. And she pours water into the bowl, into the Pyrex. And the water begins to dissolve everything. And it all goes into the Pyrex. And now we have a pool of water where every single person in there is still in there and equal and included. Nobody got lost. Nobody got less. Nobody got kicked out. The water level rose. Everyone is in it in a new way. And we are all commingled and collectively together in the same fucking experience. And when you think about it, that's already the case. This artificial construct of the triangle of society where there's a top and there's a bottom, all this kind of, that's just made up bullshit. We are all of us living the same experience on this planet. And I'm bringing this back to what you experienced, right? Sonder. Everybody is in that pool right now. How aware of it are you? Or are you focused on the size of your sugar cube and the placement of your sugar cube, which is built on nothing, which is in this fake construct of nothing? We are all floating in the same gases. We are all inhabiting the same spiritual space. We are all living the same human experience. And the degree that we connect with each other is the secret sauce. And that's what I feel like you're living through at this moment. It's a great reset of all of these structures that you had in your life have now become this new fucking thing, which feels scary, which feels weird, which feels other, which I don't know that I love. But when you look at it, it's actually better. It's better for you. It's more buoyant. I just feel like this transition that we're all in for something as mundane as the fucking cookie reset, right? In everything, there is a change that's coming, and the change is invariably good. If you decide it's good. If you decide
right,
it's
I was
bad,
going to say that's your headspace that's deciding it's good. And that's what I'm going to try to do because due to all evidence in other directions, I'm going to find the good.
Choice. You have the choice to decide that your fears and your worries are true right now and that the hope and the promise of a better future in the future could come true. Or you could invert it and you could decide that your hopes of a better future are true right now. You could give the same space to the positive outcome now as you're giving to the worry and the fear now.
I'm going to shut the fuck up and I'm going to just spread light. And that's what Amy and I would like to do for you, dear listener. Spread some light in your life. So here goes. Close your eyes. We are sending you beams and beams of positive seeds and light and love and warmth for this amazing new year. I'm not going to say the number because it brings up a bad project, so I won't say it out loud, but it's going to be a year of denial, a year of joy, a year of beauty, and a year of healing. How about that? How about healing?
I saw something. I stumbled into film talk. I didn't realize that the film industry is particularly troubled at the moment, that there's a stoppage of the money flow, oddly. And people are now commenting Netflix has money to do marketing, but not to greenlight new projects. So evidently, lots and lots of things are on hiatus or on hold, not, hold. And the phrase was stay alive to 2025. Not as a joke. That evidently March of 2025 is the new target date for when money going to be flowing again.
Okay, good.
So we can use that in our life. Stay alive till 2025. Stay alive till 25. I could do that. You could do that.
I could make it. Fingers crossed. I am going to
You
Minnesota
have that kind of power. You
Colorado.
Just said you have it and you deny it to us. You have to embrace it.
I have that power.
You have to embrace it. You have to ride it like that guy riding that worm on Dune. You just got to sink your hooks in and ride that power, girl.
Dear listener, let's ride our power. We
Summon
love
the grandfather
you. Come back
worm.
next week, and the happiest of New Year's to you and yours. Mwah! We love you.
Bye.
Bye. No more Yankee my wanky. The donger need food.